Hi, I'm Walter Koenig, and you are watching the Project Workbench.
The Project Workbench.
I'm Jack Trevino.
Steve Fratt. We are the co-writers of Star Trek Continues Pilgrim of Eternity, along with Vic, of course.
Camera rolls, file 410.
32D1.
I come from a research center background, but started to write via the open submission policy to Paramount and sold 3 stories to Deep Space Nine, Little Green Man, Indiscretion, and Quorum.
Welcome to Earth. We mean you no harm. Did you understand a word of that?
Our universal translators must be malfunctioning.
I think I hold the record for pitching to Star Trek a number of the different incarnations of Star Trek, starting with The Next Generation. And I hold the record for the guy who pitched the longest and never sold anything. Although we did come close on our last go-around together. Jack joined me in the pitching process in Enterprise's first season, I think it was, right? First or second season out of the 4?
It was the 3rd season.
Third, okay. And then we ended up coming so close in the 4th season. They actually were ready to give the green light on a story that we had presented to them, and then Paramount decided to cancel the show, as everybody now knows, and they also canceled the amount of episodes that were going to be done for that particular season. That's where we got the axe, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been writing partners?
Oh, well, we started, in 2002?
Actually about 2004.
Okay. As I get older, I get off by a couple of years, and then when I get a little older, I'll get off by a few more years.
Well, the way we got involved, I got a call from Vic Manona asking if I would be willing to help him develop a story that he had in mind for Pilgrim of Eternity. And I said, sure, I'd be happy to help out anything that has to do with Star Trek. I'm in. And because Steve had asked me to help him with Enterprise, I thought I should reciprocate and get him to come help me as well.
And I'm so happy he did. This has been one of the best weeks, if not the best week of my life, just meeting everybody and being involved in the process and watching the filming being done. And I have to give kudos to this guy in a number of arenas. And I'm extremely grateful for you inviting me into this process, obviously. But we knew that we would be able to help each other and feed off of each other and make this script better, obviously, with both of us involved.
Sure.
And it was a grueling 6-month process, but well worth it, obviously, now in the end.
A 1,000 years in a day.
Rest, dearest. We continue because of you.
You continue. I am pleased. The final image my eyes behold is that of your face.
No. We're safe together. You can't go. I forbid it.
Live on for us.
He sent me an outline and it was a number of scenes that he visualized, that he had in mind, that he wanted to do, but it wasn't quite there. It needed some more framework to connect all the pieces together. And he did say that with most Star Trek episodes, there's a need for a ticking clock and a reason why the characters are doing what they're doing. So we worked to develop a number of different scenarios for the characters to come together, and then for the resolution of the story to take place.
And as far as the original series goes, obviously this being a continuation, this being the 4th season that never happened of Star Trek, Jack was quite aware and obviously let Vic know that one of my major strengths was the characters and the dialogue, and that's where Jack and I came in, was taking those pieces that Vic presented to us and putting them all together in the right spots and adding tension and in some areas adding more story than what was already there.
A few more minutes of this and we can go inside and use the shield array to scrape off the rest. You love this stuff, don't you? No matter how hard we train, I can't get used to assignments like this. Give me artificial gravity any day. Artificial gravity.
It was an interesting metamorphosis, and I hope that in the end people will look at this story and say, yeah, that is original Star Trek. That's the 4th season of Star Trek. It was a thrill to work with Michael Forrest and hang out with Michael Forrest, because this is such a well-rounded individual, a knowledgeable guy about so many things. It was a joy. I felt to a large extent like I was hanging out with a family member, because he's so comfortable to be around. And yeah, just watching him perform and reprising his role as Apollo was, and then from my dialogue that I wrote and his dialogue, it was, I can't, there's no way I'll be able to express in words the joy that came from that over the past 7 days. Just amazing.
I knew this was important to you, so I wanted to keep it safe.
You will honor me if you continue to do so. You know, you have the voice of an angel.
Thank you.
There's that of another, my sister Artemis.
Thank you. Wait, you're the Greek god of music.
I am. I was.
Michael's an amazing man and very down to earth, very approachable. And the Star Trek actors, they understand that the fans are what keep them going. And they're very respectful of the fans, and they're very approachable with the fans. So.
And Michael himself told all of us yesterday that he was thrilled in the end. He had hesitations, obviously. He was ambivalent, was the word that he used, about coming on board and being a part of this process. But in the end, he told all of us that he was so thrilled to be a part of this, and that he felt that this whole process was a very special one, which is something that I said to a lot of people just my 3rd day here. I knew this was going to be pretty amazing before I even got here, but then getting here and being immersed in the whole process and the wonderful people involved, and then seeing what Vic was creating here, I didn't know I was going to end up using the word special. This is special.
And boy, did he keep us laughing.
Michael, what brings you to, are you awake, Mike? You, what,
I'm just a lump. I'm just playing a lump here in this.
Now, do you find a shoot like today challenging when you're sort of just lounging around, or?
Oh, it's so challenging. I can't tell you. Just try to stay awake at this point. I'm very comfortable, as a matter of fact.
Would you call this method acting?
Are you joking?
I really got a kick out of Michael Forrest being kind enough to pick up the phone and call my dad and say hi to my dad over the telephone and welcoming my dad to Mount Olympus.
Why would he do that? Was your dad a fan of the original?
My dad's a
episode?
big fan of the original Star Trek. He was a big fan of the Who Mourns for Adonais episode. He's a fan of Michael Forrest, period, because he's seen him in other things as well. And then all these years later, and they're both very similar in age, and to have Michael get on the phone, and when my dad answered the phone, he says, Bill, hi, this is Michael Forrest. Welcome to Mount Olympus. And that made my dad's month.
I had seen a number of the sets as they were being constructed via the internet and photos, and I was blown away by the detail and accuracy. And I understand that they used the blueprints from the original series, and that they laid out all the sets as they were laid out back at Paramount Desilu Studios. But when you get here and you see them, pictures can't do justice to the real thing.
I mean, right down to the last coat of paint. This has been recreated impeccably.
And of course, the uniforms are spot on.
Oh, yeah.
And
the actors.
And Vic's attention to detail as to how the characters and extras should look. I believe you had a small role and you wound up shaving.
I came in one day, I've been here every day, obviously, and I came in one morning, and Vic comes up to me and he says, "Are you willing to shave that goatee?" And I, "Sure, why?" "You're going to be in a scene." "What?" And I ended up being in the transporter scene. I was a transporter tech. Just icing on the cake to this whole process. Just amazing. I can see myself in a Star Trek episode.
Matt Busey, the director of photography, has lit the set exactly the way it was lit in the series.
Chilling. I mean, we're talking goosebumps up and down, not just the neck, but the entire body. That's another aspect of how special this whole process is.
There's a scene where Michael Forrest is addressing crew members, and he looks very much godlike, and it's due to the lighting. He lit Michael Forrest with lights from two different angles, and he stands out, and he looks godlike just standing there.
He does. Michael Forrest still has that commanding presence and voice when he kicks in those bagpipes. And I know because I was in the broadcasting business for 20-something years. That guy has still one powerful voice. There's a scene, people will be able to tell what I'm talking about in one scene in the corridor where he gets mad at Captain Kirk.
"I want what is mine. Humanity's worship and love."
That's gonna be powerful stuff.
"Enough! Receive the wage of your blasphemy!"
I really think every Star Trek fan who was originally a fan of the original series is just going to be blown away by this, by the detail, by the story, by the acting. And I think that element that was blatantly obvious in the original series, the chemistry between the actors, I believe that has been recreated here with these actors. I really do. This has been one awesome family to be a part of for the last 7 days. People are going to be able to sense that when they watch this story. I think Paramount is probably going to look at this thing, and somebody is going to say to themselves over there, "Wow, we didn't expect this to look and feel like it does. This is pretty amazing stuff." So Paramount, you need to get on board. We'll beam you up. Let's recreate the Star Trek series, the original series, because we are in a retro society right now. Everybody is recycling ideas from the past, and they're cool. They're very cool, and this definitely fits that mold. Don't you think?
Well, there's definitely a fan base out there for the original series.
Oh, yeah.
1,000 years in a day. You're very kind. It pleases me that you still enjoy my music, my children.
It's just lovely.
You know, Marcius once challenged me to a contest of music.
Who is Marcius?
Marcius was a satyr who believed he could play his flute as proficiently as I my lyre. After we both played, the muses declared the contest a tie, until I decreed that we both sing and play at the same time. An impossible feat for my singers.
Mike, have you ever sung in a movie before?
No, never have. Never have.
What do you think? Never again?
And I don't think anybody ever wants me to do it again.
But another opportunity to write something with this guy. Well, you don't have to twist my arm. This guy is a joy to work with in a lot of ways, and we both are on the same page with 95% of everything that we do.
Sure, and we're not afraid to tell each other that idea doesn't really work.
Exactly.
Let's try it this way.
Yeah.
And the reasons why, and then we'll pause and reflect on it, and then realize that, hey, you know, Steve's right, that doesn't work. And back to the number of episodes in the original series, it was only, I think it was 79. So a lot of people that have discovered Star Trek will watch those episodes, and you end watching the number of episodes thinking, well, I'm ready for another one. And gosh, I wish there were some more. It's like when you go to a movie and it's really good, and you'd say to yourself, I wish the movie would have been another half hour or an hour long, because I want more. So we hope to give the fans more.
That's a great point, because I ended up spending my childhood, probably into my 20s, hoping and wishing that somehow there was going to be a lost episode of the original series, because I wanted more. And lo and behold, here it is, Pilgrim of Eternity.
Roll camera. Camera rolls, file 407.
32C, take 1.